Gen Z's not lazy, they're just refusing to put up with the toxic work culture that boomers created. Yeah, that and a few other issues. The rising economic tide. Corporate executives. Profits are up. My compensation has doubled. Look at me. I'm walking on water. Wage earners. Wages are flat. My buying power is shrinking. I'm not even treading water. Geez, $5 is extortion for a pay stub. Central office fees effective March 1st. All employees will be charged $5 per page on the following requests. Pay stubs, prior year's W-2s. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so if you want to print out any important stuff, $5 per page, I guess, or I don't know. I want to be rich means 1, you want to get rid of the alarm clock. 2, you want to leisurely spend time with people you love. 3, you want to stop worrying about the rent or whether you can buy healthy food. 4, you want to be able to help. 5, you want to do more of what you love. Told my boss I quit and he's not going to pay me. Can't just not pay me because I didn't show up. That's illegal. You have lost and damaged more than you have earned. Do the math. I said you are just as responsible for ensuring nothing happens to property and Zach has no issues paying $200 of the charges. I am charging you $60. Then I FT my $125 dolly. Then the damages you and David cause are going to be split. After all of that plus the lost route today, you won't have made anything for the past few days. Thanks for it in writing. Yes, I can. It's not illegal, and I told y'all when you started, if you don't show up, I will charge y'all what they charge me. You're welcome. Thank you, too. Labor laws, bro. Even puppers get it. What has your pet accidentally conditioned you to do? One of my dogs has several barks, a play bark and a squirrel bark, and the other dog things that are normal dog barks. He also has what we call his emergency bark. The emergency bark is what he does when he thinks there is serious danger. It is extremely loud and makes us jump every time. He usually reserves it for things like the time I fell down the stairs and he scream barked for my husband to help, or when someone is in our front yard, or when he cornered a possum in the backyard. However, since my husband started working from home, this dog barks his emergency bark at my husband if he tries working past 4 p.m. My husband now has learned to stop working at about 3:50 every day to avoid that jarring sound. Maybe people who meditate for an hour a day are happier because they live a life that affords them an hour a day to meditate. A 10-day general strike would accomplish more for the working class majority than a century's worth of elections. It would represent an immediate momentum shift by bringing the capitalist behemoth to its knees. Our true power is in our collective labor, not in a voting booth. Cafe workers. We are unionizing. Owner, lol that I'm selling the cafe. Cafe workers proceed to buy the cafe and turn it into a workers' co-op. Talk about a best case scenario. CEOs are hugely expensive. Why not automate them? If a single role is as expensive as thousands of workers, it is surely the prime candidate for robot-induced redundancy. So weird how nobody ever asks how we pay for the endless wars or the billions in tax breaks we give to the richest people on earth, but the second someone mentions policies to vastly improve millions of lives, Grandpa breaks out the fucking abacus. Sometimes I forget that Elon Musk has always been a privileged rich kid, and Elon Musk's daddy owned an emerald mine, and Elon Musk walked around with jewels in his pockets, and Elon Musk didn't start Tesla. He just ousted the founders, and Elon Musk has never invented anything. Sometimes. You guys should get more labor protections from your government. When I moved from the USA to Germany, I eventually completely changed jobs to a rather large and well-funded German company. The kind of company in America that you'd say, oh, they'll have good benefits. I asked them during the negotiation phase, so what are the other benefits? I didn't see them listed in the employment contract, and they looked at me like I was an alien. They had no concept of what benefits were. I asked about healthcare and days off, sick leave, etc., and they told me, we just do what the current regulations enforce, which is unlimited sick leave, 30 days of vacation plus holidays, and we will pay for whatever healthcare insurance you have purchased. It was one of those moments where I really realized how much of a fucked up bubble the USA is. A nurse from Wyckoff Medical Center in Brooklyn. I don't know if I said that right. Please don't call me a hero. I am being martyred against my will. So I and a few others on the schedule are being punished for something we weren't even on site for. Is this wage theft? A $5 off register for yesterday. I think it's time to take all bonuses off the table until this store can learn to balance registers. Yeah, that sounds illegal and not cool at all. Because I can't decompress at home? You need to detach and psychologically recover from work, professors say. The solution? Commuting. Okay. Grad schools doing illegal stuff. From Twitter, from a friend. Dear Temple student, as a result of your participation in the TUGSA strike, your tuition remission has been removed for the spring semester. You now owe the full balance listed in TU Pay, which is due by Thursday, March 9th. If your balance is not paid in full by the due date, you will be assessed a $100 late payment fee, and a financial hold will be placed on your student account. This hold will prevent future registration. Jesus Christ, that sounds messed up. Interesting list for minimum wage pay and outdoor labor. If you answer yes to any of the following statements, please don't contact us. You are grumpy in the morning. Your favorite place is under the covers in your mom's basement. You are afraid of heights. Don't try to fool us on this. We will know right away. You are a victim, a whiner, or complainer. You smoke at work. You do drugs, or you drink heavily. You look like a tattoo parlor experiment gone wrong. You can't lift heavy stuff without sustaining a back injury. Or you are a wuss when it comes to cold or too hot out. Right, so the people running this job or whatever the hell are just actual heads. Inflation will remain sticky for a decade, and Gen Z and millennials are to blame, an investment chief says. Will young Americans' spending habits be what causes inflation to stick around longer? A woman makes $80,000 selling nudes on OnlyFans to pay for cancer treatment. It really sucks that you have to do OnlyFans to make the kind of money you need to treat cancer to not die. And I'm not saying that against OnlyFans creators. I support sex workers. Hell yeah, I'm all for that. I'm saying it sucks that people working other jobs, minimum wage, whatever, if they get something like this, they cannot raise that kind of money, and they're going to, suffer. And it just sucks. But yeah, good for her though. 64% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, 15 million children experiencing food insecurity, over 567,000 homeless people. Meanwhile, U.S. billionaires have added over $7 trillion to their wealth over the last decade. Media, look, a balloon. Handcuffed and jailed at 93 years old in Florida for not paying the rent at her independent living facility and refusing to leave once evicted. How do you have the heart to evict a 93-year-old woman out of her house and arrest her for not paying rent when she's too disabled to even work and can't make any money? Y'all really some heartless animals. Just had a call with someone on Forbes 30 Under 30 list and came away really impressed. He shared with me how he made VP at a top tech company before age 30. 1, 4:30 a.m. wake up, 2, cold showers, 3, gratitude journal, 4, meditate, 5, dad owns tech company. No paid sick leave for you railroad workers either. Meet CEO of Norfolk Southern Alan Shaw. His net worth is at least $11 million. He lives in a 8,000 square foot mansion. He poisoned a small town for profit. Let's make him famous. The upward redistribution of wealth over the past 40 years has shifted $50 trillion from the bottom 90% to the top 1%. That's $50 trillion that would have gone into the paychecks of working Americans. The greatest trick of all is trickle-down economics. Guys, help. I told an employee he sucks and now he says we aren't BFFs anymore. How to handle distant employee after performance review? So I recently gave a poor performance review to an employee and he is since working much faster. We started a deadline and daily check-in system, but has become much more distant. He always eats with the team and now claims he has to go somewhere on his lunch break. He usually suggests coffee with me in the morning and has abruptly stopped. It seems like he's avoiding me and sitting as far away from possible from me in the office. He also has abruptly stopped dressing up for work. It's not compulsory, but he has usually come into the office in a suit. When I talk to him, he is still polite, however. How would you handle this? How do you feel about someone who does the bare minimum? Sit down. We need to talk to you about quiet quitting. Sex work is real work, unlike being a landlord. True. It works. 92% of companies keep it. Burnout down by 71%. Sick days down by 65%. Revenue up 1.4% on average. No question about it, the UK's 4-day week trial was a huge success. It's time for the 4-day week to go mainstream. Tell employees we can't afford to pay more. Brag about record profits. Every company. These people are clueless. Millions of US workers are still missing after the pandemic. Where did they go? Manager asked us to share something difficult about our childhoods for team bonding. What ensued was deeply uncomfortable. One coworker sobbed while sharing that her father molested her when she was a toddler. Another shared that her mother died of cancer. It's one thing to gradually learn more about someone over time. It's another thing to force trauma bonding. I don't need to know the depths of someone's past experiences to work well with them. It's a workplace, not a family. Worst icebreaker ever. Minnesota House passes paid sick and safe time bill for all workers. I employ 4 people full-time. How am I supposed to run my business if one of them takes advantage of 24 weeks paid leave and I'm required to hold their position during that time? What if 2 of them take advantage of this leave at the same time? Activision just announced removal of work from home options and is denying applications for working from home permanently to people with disabilities. Mass walkouts ensued. Thank you for reaching out. As mentioned on today's town hall, Activision is requiring employees to return to office beginning April 10, 2023. Our working model for Activision QA in El Segundo, Austin, and Minneapolis requires employees to be in the office 3 days a week and work remotely 2 days a week. The expectation is for employees to be within a reasonable commute to the office they were hired for. As a result, there are no permanent remote work opportunities within QA. Why not though? Why not? Why do you need everyone to be at the office when they can do their job at home? Why? Genuinely why? Activision, you are stupid. I'm so done with this petty asinine bull. 11/28/22. You guys are not allowed to be eating and or snacking for free if you are not upper management, which are general manager, DMJ, gym, or ops. If I catch you eating my food, it will result in termination, but other people are allowed to eat it? Oh, and then there are no more call-offs allowed without a doctor's note turned in. After the third call-off without an excused note, I will result in termination. Also, you guys need to watch your money handling and drive times and do extra cleaning when slow cameras will start to be reviewed daily out. God, shut the f up. I don't understand why can't you just tell them instead of typing it all out in all caps like a fucking baby and plastering it everywhere? Like, dude, talk to your employees. There's probably a reason that they hate you and you hate them. Well, no, you probably just hate them because you're a Anyways, sorry, moving on. 6 signs you'll be a billionaire. 1, you grew up rich. 2, you have sociopathic tendencies. 3, you only care about yourself. 5, you love exploiting workers. 4, you're great at union busting. 6, you receive government subsidies. Bankers earn more than teachers and nurses, and I couldn't tell you a single thing a banker has done for me, but I can name a million things that teachers and nurses have done for me. A homeless man in New York City would regularly order an expensive dinner at a restaurant and refuse to pay for it to be sent to prison where he would receive 3 meals a day and a clean bed. He refused to commit more severe crimes to get longer sentences as he did not want to hurt anyone. What is the biggest lesson that employment has taught you? Efficient workers got punished with more work. Pizza shop is hiring, just non-stupid people. A lot of people we've hired just don't want to work. There is no work ethic behind them, so that's the meaning behind the non-stupid. Oh, so they actually put non-stupid in their, flyer, say, hey, we want people to work for us. That's wow. One of the biggest landlords in Los Angeles just defaulted on $755 million in loans for 2 skyscrapers as remote work keeps offices vacant. Next level micromanagement. 28, as stated in the job description, we require an IP We require an IP camera setup to provide a live video and audio feed of your workplace during the shift timings. Are you comfortable with this setting? No. I received this email from my company today. They're holding a company picnic and we're expected to pay for all of it. How would you personally handle this? Our second annual company picnic will be held at blank amusement park on July 30th, 2023. Tickets are $24.95 per person. There will also be a lunch meal that will be $72 per adult and $9.54 per child. Lunch meal will be hamburgers and hot dogs along with 2 sides. Kids will receive hot dog and 2 sides. Meal includes pickles. Blah, 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 blah. Why? Why do you have to pay so much? My employer is demanding my newborn's birth certificate even though I didn't take paternity leave because my employer doesn't offer it. More than anything, I want to know why HR is hounding me for it. I took a week of paid vacation off for when he was born. I got a call a few days before I was going to take the time off from HR saying word got to her that I'm having a baby. She said I'm eligible for FMLA and she just need my son's birth certificate. I said I wasn't planning on taking unpaid leave. Her response was, well, send it anyway, you never know. I've been back to work for 4 weeks now and they're still hounding me for it. I'm starting to suspect my employer gets some sort of tax break if they categorize my paid vacation as FMLA leave. What gives? Time. I have a master's degree, 16 years of experience, work 2 extra jobs, and donate blood plasma to pay the bills. I'm a teacher in America. The greatest resignation is now the great regret. 80% of job hoppers wish they hadn't quit their old roles, with Gen Z the most regretful. I am the only customer service rep scheduled today for for a $20 billion company. Good morning, blank. You are the only one in MD inbound right now. Try to keep you after call work to a minimum so customers won't have to hold so long. Thanks. With exploding technology and increased worker productivity, it's time to move toward a 4-day work week with no loss of pay. Workers must benefit from technology, not just corporate CEOs. People almost never talk about how lifestyle creep when you begin to make more money is not so much spending on luxuries, but rather all the life maintenance things you couldn't tend to before that end up being really expensive, like dental work or car repairs. Guess who no longer works at home? Got pulled into a meeting today with my boss and was informed that I'll be required to come back to site permanently even though I was hired as a work-from-home agent. She asked if I had any problems with that, so I told her I don't have a car and I live 30 miles away. Her response was to say, the company is not required to take into account your transportation needs. Then she just hung up. I don't know what I'm going to do. That's really cool how like jobs can say, hey, so we're changing this big thing about your job, literally, like we know you were literally hired on to work from home, but hey, guess what? You're working at the office now. Oh, you're 30 miles away? Oh, well, that sucks. Bye, and hangs up. Like, okay, what the f do I do now? American, I have 2 jobs and still can't make rent. We need a living wage. GOP, living wage? Go to college. I can't afford tuition. Ask your parents. They're still in college debt. Get a job. I just told you I have 2. Be born rich next time. They want a cashier who's a college graduate, has a diploma, transcript of records from the uni, within 20 to 30 years old, a minimum of 5'2" height, why? And the salary be minimum wage. Urgent hiring, cashier, qualifications, college graduate with diploma and TOR, female, 20 to 30 years old, why female? Minimum of 5'2" height with pleasing personality, preferably with experience in cashiering for ex-SM employees, blah, 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 blah. It's why is it so specific when you just need a cashier? A new Iowa bill would roll back child labor laws, allowing 14 to 17-year-olds to work in mining, meatpacking, demolition, operating guillotine shears, and other dangerous jobs. Under the business-backed bill, employers wouldn't be civilly liable if kids are injured or killed. Yeah, that makes total sense. Disney just announced that its theme parks made $2.1 billion in profit in the last 3 months, yet the company recently said their best offer for workers at Disney World, who are paid so little that some live out their cars, was a $1 raise. 97% of workers voted to reject it. You call your boss in the morning to say you will not be in due to not feeling well. Your boss wants to know specifically what is wrong with you. What do you say to make your boss instantly regret asking? That's a really personal question. Can we keep this conversation professional? And if they push it, my penis is bleeding. Do you want pictures as well? I was in an accident due to California blizzard. Stranded overnight in snow. No cell service. My boss's response. Are you okay? Was another vehicle involved? Where are you currently? Yes, I'm okay now. There was a car under a tree with a semi parked in front of it. I slid on black ice into the semi and ended up with my car resting on the guardrail. Gosh, glad you're okay and sorry about your car. Did you have to seek medical care? If you're okay now, how come you didn't report to work or make contact prior to your shift? Also, if you're okay, where are you now? Jesus Christ. They don't actually care at all. No billionaire has ever worked as hard as someone who needs 2 jobs to make rent and has to go home to take care of their kids and clean their own apartment. Not even f***ing close. Thank you for your encouragement, commitment, investment, involvement with driving sales and beating plan by $6 million. You are very appreciated. Yeah, it really feels like it. The bank says I can't afford a $1,200 mortgage, so I pay $2,000 in rent instead. It obviously doesn't, or there wouldn't be so many protests around the world right now. Young laid-off workers need to know that shutting up has value. Wow, thanks. Leaving without giving 2 weeks notice changes last check's hourly rate to minimum wage? All employees who leave employment with blank understand that it is policy to give a 2 weeks notice before leaving our employment. If a 2-week written notice is not given, the last paycheck you receive will have all hours worked paid at the state minimum wage, currently $7.25 per hour. See Separation from Employment and Employee Handbook Revision, January 2019. 16 and 17-year-olds should not have their paychecks taxed because they can't vote. Taxation without representation. World's largest 4-day workweek trial finds few are going back, and about 1 in 6 employees in the study said no amount of money would convince them to return to 5 days a week. Should I send this email after a bad screening call? Is it worth potentially losing an opportunity? Dear blank, I would like to respectfully withdraw my application following my negative experience speaking with your colleague Sandy. Sandy arrived late and unprepared. The bare minimum level of professionalism I expect from a recruiter is to respect my time and to have read my CV before the call. To be then asked whether I would accept £20,000 less than the expected salary I set out when all Sandy knew about my experience and expertise was the 30-second summary I'd just given her was insulting. I found the entire tone of the conversation belittling and condescending and centered around pay, and it's left a sour taste in my mouth. I'm disappointed as I applied because I'd heard good things about blank as an employer. However, I don't think I can continue in this process with a company that has made me feel so undervalued at the very first interaction. Best wishes, blank. Dude, I could read these all day. Like, I want to see the responses. I want to see, like, these employers be, like, bewildered, like, whoa, how dare you speak to us, you peasant employee? Like, dude, like, I love when people stick it to the employers and be like, yo, you are wasting my time. That's the good shit. Boss is tired of all the complaining. Good morning, ladies. So I have been hearing a lot of complaining lately. Let me make this very clear. 1, if you have a problem with the wage you get paid, please feel free to have a discussion with me. The wage you all receive is fair, I'm sure, especially when it comes to house parties, etc. If you have a problem with me and I hear anyone speaking about me negatively, this will result in loss of shifts and or job. Sounds like someone can't handle criticism. I have heard so much crap being said about other staff members and myself. I will absolutely not put up with the going into busy season. The bullshit talk stops now or find another job. Bizarre study finds pizza motivates employees more than cash bonuses. That is a load of horse. It's that easy to be a billionaire in the USA. Finland ended homelessness. They provide a small apartment and counseling with no preconditions. 4 out of 5 make their way back into a stable life, and guess what? It was cheaper than allowing homelessness to continue. Good luck trying to be a billionaire over there. Domino's likes to shave a little off the top. Direct deposit enrollment for blank pizza. Direct deposit is offered at the rate of $175 per payroll period. This is automatically deducted from your paycheck each period. Corporate profits reached an all-time high of, oh god, is that $2,522 billion this year? Meanwhile, real wages declined more than 8.5%. The problem is, and has always been, corporate greed and the politicians who do nothing to stop it. Requiring doctor's notes to excuse absences due to illness is inherently classist in a country without universal healthcare, and I really wish we talked about it more. Forgot to update my LinkedIn and got vaguely threatened with legal action. Please note that your LinkedIn profile currently still shows Keeper as your present employer. Please update your profile to reflect your leave date accordingly. I have CC'd our general counsel on this email to be aware of the issue if further escalation is required. Thanks. Cool. Off. The reason It's a Wonderful Life, 1946, holds up so well is that George's line, "You know how long it takes a working man to save $5,000?" has somehow not aged even slightly. It's only an unpaid internship if you don't steal enough office supplies. Stealing is wrong. You mean unpaid internships? I agree. Tried to quit my job and they said no. Good afternoon, blank. When you signed on to blank, you were required to commit to a minimum of 1 year with our company. You were hired on 3/6/22, therefore your earliest available departure date would be 3/6/23. Or you could just not go, I'm sure. What are they going to do? Unless you're, like, legally bound to show up, don't. Just don't. Another whining CEO. Unpopular advice, stop jumping between jobs so much. 1 to 2 years in a job is not enough. You never actually learn to do your job well if you keep jumping. It's a huge red flag to me, and in my opinion, it's not worth the 20% salary bump you're going to get. Does this make me old school? No, it just makes you look like a moron because you clearly don't understand the current job climate. You know, people are struggling out here. I had intended to give everyone a Christmas bonus. I had an envelope with money in my computer bag along with the weekly tips. Someone stole the envelope. I was going to give everyone a minimum of $20 for each month they worked in 2022. Due to the fact that the money is gone, there will be no bonuses. I hope the thief enjoys spending their fellow employees' money. Called off 5 hours in advance. Managers took me off the schedule for the next 2 weeks. Not the first time managers have done this to someone or responded in this manner. We can talk in person. I would like to know if I am still employed with blank, please, instead of wasting both our time with coming up there tomorrow. Thank you, blank. It's amazing that now you respond to your text, or our. It's amazing how patronizing managers at this establishment are. I'll save us both the trouble. I resign as shift lead at blank effective immediately. I'll be in for my check Monday. Thank you. Hey, look, treat others the way you want to be treated is what I say. Wow, just no. Elon Musk is under fire for building bedrooms at Twitter HQ for employees. I don't get it. To be honest, I slept under my desk at least 3 nights a week when I worked in banking. The first time I got promoted to a manager, I had to work 16 to 18 hours routinely. I'd finish work at 2 to 3 a.m., sleep on the floor, janitor would show up at 7, I'd go shower in the gym and pick up dry cleaning to change into, and back to work. I always wore my hair up and it was always wet because I'd never had time to blow dry it. That's how intense the grind was. I would have killed for a bed in the office. This kind of grind is highly desirable early career. Oh yeah, employees love sleeping in their offices. Look up the development of Halo 2, you'll see how much they enjoyed their time. Twitter is both a social media company and a crime scene. You can tell being a CEO is a job if this douchebag can be 3. We told Corey if he didn't find a way into work today, we would fire him. Can we just say wow and thank you to Corey? It's 9 degrees outside and Corey walked to work to help take care of our customers. We appreciate him more than he will ever know and we will make sure he doesn't walk home. Yeesh. If you really care about Corey, you could give him a nice fat pay raise. You know, give everyone a pay raise. Why not? Oh no, but a rail strike around the holidays could cripple the economy. Damn, sounds like their labor is really, really important and you should give them what they fucking want. What is the sick time being taken for? For being sick. Thanks. As per our company policy, they need justification for your sick time since it is not reimbursable by our clients. Blank will have to eat your costs. What is your ailment to justify your sick time? Yeesh. Company asked us to install a certificate on our personal devices to access Teams and Outlook. Installing this profile will allow the administrator at big-ass link to remotely manage your iPhone. The administrator may collect personal data, add, remove accounts and restrictions, install, manage, and list apps, and remotely erase data on your iPhone. That is a violation of personal, space and information? No. My Five Guys closed. Nobody wants to work. Sign in the window. I guess the owner doesn't want to work either. If they get paid more than 5 times their regular employees, they should be worth more than 5 of his employees and hence can do all 5 of their jobs by themselves. When Elon Musk's personal assistant, Mary Beth Brown, asked for a raise in 2014, he told her to take 2 weeks off work so he could see how valuable she really was. After the 2 weeks, he took over job and fired her. He fired his assistant for asking for a raise. You piece of actual human garbage. Hashtag nurses need to be well paid to properly look after us when we need them. You can't have them worrying about putting food on the table or heating their homes in the winter or providing basics for their kids. It's not political, it's common sense. A no-brainer. Hashtag nurses strike. 2023 is officially the 4th calendar year that student debt payments have been paused. If they can be paused that long, they should be canceled. It's true. Computer programming job application. I'm looking for a new job. Sure, just need you to take 2 assessments, a tech screen, then we'll want 3 interviews, then maybe we'll consider you. Never mind, I accepted a job at another company that offered what I wanted after 1 interview. No, you were supposed to jump through hoops to prove your worthiness. Stop normalizing the grind and start normalizing whatever this is. Yeah, I agree. Forcing us to come in on a day off for some stupid meeting. Mandatory meeting when blah blah blah. All employees must come. It is not a choice. Pretty sure if it's a day off, you don't have to come in. So, 3 multi-billionaires now own more wealth than the bottom half of America. 160 million Americans. Don't tell us we can't afford a wealth tax on the super rich. Boss went radio silent after I asked for my checks. Hey Teddy, I know money is probably tough right now, but would I be able to cash a check soon? Let me know when you see this. Yes, all of them. I will let you know after this weekend. Sounds good, thank you so much. Can I come pick up the checks this week? And silence. You call off work at your minimum wage job because of this. What is the boss going to say back? They'd probably say some like, oh, well, you know, if you really cared about this job, you would have just shoveled your way out. No. I love how barista is the job conservatives bring up as a lazy slacker job when one shift at a moderately busy Starbucks would have them crouch between stacks of milk crates, sobbing in the back room. The economy has shafted millennials, now it wants their offspring too. Yes, we know you can't afford to have children, but if the economy tanks because of the low birth rate, you'll be to blame. The death of American ambition. Staff at blue-chip firms are refusing to work weekends and are demanding raises if asked to take on extra tasks as TikTok Act Your Wage movement helps trigger outsourcing to India. A fun series of events in Finland. 1. Postal Service cuts pay of 700 sorters. 2. Strike called. 60,000 workers join in solidarity, shutting down docks, rail, buses, airlines. 3. Postal Service cancels pay cut. 4. Minister of State Ownership resigns. 5. Prime Minister resigns. Sounds like things are going real well over there. Gen Z is taking long breaks from their careers and getting away with it. Members of Gen Z are taking more career breaks to travel, take care of their mental health, or explore career paths, and it's leaving large gaps on their resumes. Honestly, good for them. I work at an airport and found this in one of the bathroom stalls. Normalise discussing wages with coworkers, r/ANTIWORK. Dude bros are just demons with human skin suits. My company will weather this economic recession for one main reason. 50% of our employees are located in the Philippines and earn $10,000 a year on average, $5 an hour. No employment taxes, no workers, compensation, no healthcare, also loyal, hardworking, kind team members. Every time I get a gray hair, I remember that one of my stem cells is like, the working conditions here are awful and I am done. And I respect that. From a labor perspective, management has created a toxic work environment. I am management. Was caught with a coffee cup at work. The next day, everyone's water privileges were revoked. Worked as a cashier at AC Moore. I had a coffee cup under the register and would drink from it when there was no customers in line or in view. My boss found this cup, grabbed it, said no, absolutely not, and took it to the break room. Next day, there was a passive-aggressive letter posted in the office saying that some employee abused the water privilege and now no one is allowed to have water at the cash register. What? Water privileges? Are you, actually kidding me? Young people don't want to work. Now what? Pay them more? Unions, because it's very unlikely three spirits will appear and scare your boss into doing the right thing. By the way, the stereotype of Americans I have run into the most so far in Europe is that Americans work themselves to death for nothing. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk do a ton of objectively bad stuff, but I just want to be clear that the mere act of holding on to that much money in a world with this much inequality is in itself a brutally evil action, and alone makes them bad people. Stop complaining, says billionaire investor Charlie Munger? I don't care. Stop complaining, says Charlie Oldfart. Everybody's 5 times better off than they used to be. Right. Angel, so happy you are with us. Thank you for all your hard work. It doesn't go unnoticed. Happy holidays. Here's your new rate of pay that goes into effect on December 26, 2022. All right, current pay rate, $15. All right, new rate of pay, $15. It doesn't go unnoticed, huh? If the minimum wage increased at the rate of productivity since 1960, it'd be $24 today, not $7.25. That means billionaires and corporations have stolen at least $17 an hour from working Americans for 60 years, an estimated $50 trillion. We don't suffer a lack of resources, but an excess of greed. As target security for my department in the last 14 days alone stopped $15,000 worth of theft. Our district manager dropped by and gave us candy as a thank you. That's great. You stopped $15,000 worth of goods getting stolen, and you get $15 worth of candy. So, take what you can, I guess. Why is it easier to believe that 150 million Americans are being lazy rather than 400 Americans are being greedy? If there's room in the budget for $858 billion in defense spending, there's room for climate action, childcare, healthcare, and housing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I'm looking for a babysitter ASAP, paying $125 per week. I'll provide all that is needed for the child's care. What are your hours like? 5 a.m. until 6 p.m. Okay, so 52 cents an hour. Good luck. Why is the cost of minimum wage labor the only thing never affected by inflation? Joel Osteen, one of the richest pastors in the U.S., has 5 fireplaces, 3 elevators, and a driveway that can fit over 20 cars, including his Ferrari. Joel doesn't pay taxes, but you do. Why is this? Nobody likes paying taxes, but at least here in Germany, we have great healthcare, low-cost prescription drugs, and easily affordable high-quality education. I feel so sorry for Americans who pay more taxes than us without these benefits. Thanks for helping us with Ukraine, though. Tired of justifying being unemployed. Can you explain the gaps in your CV? Yes, that's when I didn't have a job. I have contributed around $160,000 to various landlords over the last 10 years as a renter. Never missed rent, can't qualify for a mortgage. It's not about coffee and Netflix, it's about a predatory system of housing that uses a basic human right as an investment opportunity. Strikes hurt. You know what else hurts? Working sick, working in pain, working away from your family, working in unsafe conditions, working hungry, working while your company makes billions in profits. Withholding our labor is a direct result of ownership withholding our share. Wife needs surgery. They wanted her to sign this. She said, hell no. Blank, give my employer blank permission to directly contact my physician blank, will copy me on all correspondence that is sent to my physician. No. CEOs are hugely expensive. Why not automate them? If a single role is as expensive as thousands of workers, it is surely the prime candidate for robot-induced redundancy. I've actually thought about this, and there's something to be argued here. I use the restroom 2 times a day and I work from home. I am now being scheduled for a meeting with my managers. At this point, we have asked you to minimize your away from desks, reminded you of the goals, and have met with you. Unfortunately, you continue to not meet these established guidelines. A supervisor will be following up with a coaching. We don't like you using the restroom in your own home, so die. Due to the fact that everything is building back better and the majority of people have become lazy under this admin, we are extremely short-staffed, so this section is closed. Let's get better. Make America work again. Go f*** yourself. I'm hearing too much recycle, compost, go vegan, and not enough 100 corporations cause 71% of emissions. Put the politicians on minimum wage and watch how fast things change. That'd be a fun experiment. Just your regular reminder that the $15 an hour debate has been going on for so long that the actual living wage is now around $24 an hour. No job is worth dying for. A conscious employer wouldn't have had employees come in during a snowstorm. Buffalo woman, 22, dies in her car after getting trapped by blizzard for 18 hours while driving home from work. Sent frantic family terrifying final video of vehicle stuck in deep snow as wind howled outside. That is actually just, actually saddening. Wow. The whole concept of sick days is idolatrous capitalism. When we started work in the Netherlands, we asked HR how many sick days we get. After a brief, confused look, the reply, all of them. When you are sick, you stay home. When you are well, you work. Dutch law translated reads, if you own a company in the Netherlands and one of your employees becomes ill, you must go on paying them for a maximum of 2 years. Holy what a concept. This holiday season, Twitter fires 4K workers, Amazon fires 10K workers, and Facebook fires 11K workers, all while US billionaire pandemic wealth increased an absurd $1.7 trillion. A reminder that billionaires don't create jobs, they exploit workers. Tax billionaires, unionize workers. I got my Christmas bonus today, #blessed. Merry Christmas, here's $35.18. Cool. Voted 6 times to raise his pay, voted 15 times against raising the minimum wage. Not shocked. So a janitor should make $15 an hour? Yes. And I guess kids flipping burgers should make $15 an hour? Yes. Next you're gonna tell me that grocers should... Did you just have this list of people you don't respect ready to go? It's just so weird to me that not too long ago, someone with a regular old job could buy a house like an entire house with just their job money. How I dress for my job interview, how the interviewer dresses. Left-wing utopia. Everyone on Earth is safe, healthy, happy, educated, and free to pursue their ambitions. You know, bowling averages are way up, mini golf scores are way down. Right-wing utopia. White Americans work 60 hours a week in a back-breaking job they hate with no healthcare and 1 week of vacation, and everyone else is dead. Millennials want jobs and education, not marriage and kids. Alternate headline, y'all f***ed up the economy so badly that we can't focus on marriage and kids because we're struggling to afford to live.
I have to work an hour before I can afford to buy 3 of these. I make 3,000 of them every hour. Welcome to capitalism, baby. I quit my job yesterday. I'd only been there 2 months. It was chaos and drama from the second I started. My boss accused me of lying about placing orders insane, and I have the proof to show that I had placed them because obviously it was just a bizarre place with horrible leadership. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I choose my own happiness over a toxic work culture, and I'm really proud of myself for setting a boundary. I've never quit my toxic job. I'm just here, always doing it. Not easy peasy. I love this job. I'm talking about shoveling up dog poo. Bow movements on company time. Oh, bowel. Bowel is what they meant. Please be seated. The lighting timer has been optimized according to Cleveland Clinic's standard time for a BOW movement. When the light goes out, you have exceeded the average time needed. BMs beyond the lighting timer should be done on personal time, not company time. Thank you. The fact that there's a QR code here makes me think it's a joke or something. Here's the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire. 1 millionaire seconds ago, it was last week. 1 billion seconds ago, it was 1999. Yeah, we're all screwed. If Doesn't the US has like 485 of these billionaires? Yeah. Imagine if this behavior was normalized. Think the corpse would start to get the message? Dear all, as of today, I'm resigning from my job as the dual front office manager. Unfortunately, this company turned out to be way below my expectations. I got to meet good people, though. I wish the good people the best in their endeavors. Sincerely, dual front office manager. Hiring manager who interviewed you. Kit does not include feedback, salary range, compensation for completed project. That was a great interview. We'll talk to you soon. This company claims to care about people. Their choice of toilet paper determines that's a lie. Yes, this is true. Wish there was a law against making you explain any gaps in employment. Like, why can't you just not want to work for a bit? Christ. I was in school making YouTube videos that made me more money than this job does now. Again, not easy peasy, talking about the job I'm currently working. Effective immediately. The manager at Gringos. I'm a quitter. Sincerely, Bella Circo. I love you, Bella. I hope you became a storytime animator. He took off his clothes to prove a valuable point. In Mexico, a member of parliament removed all his clothes in parliament during debate. You are ashamed to see me naked, but you are not ashamed to see your people in the streets naked, barefooted, desperate, jobless, and hungry after you have stolen all their money and wealth, he told the parliament, and then they murdered him. I do believe this guy did get murdered, though. The grind grinding me to the ground. Me showing up to my evening job after 10 hours of my day job. When I lived in Florida, I worked at a telemarketing from 2 to 4 a.m. It was very fun, let me tell you that. During the day, I'd wake up at 7 and go work at a surf camp till 2 p.m., skateboard an hour home, take a shower, and then be at my other job by 5 and work there till 11. It was great. How it feels working under capitalism. There's no way out. You just need the food and you will try your best to get it. My boss deactivated my coworker's email who just quit too quickly and didn't realize it controls our company calendar, so now all of those events for the next 3 years are gone. Goodbye. Boss, why aren't you working me? I didn't see you coming, that's why. You'd never see me coming either. Just being in an interview where there were 40 minutes late. Plus the interview kept interrupting me and has the smug I know better than you attitude. Guess I know what to say if they offer me the job, and if they don't, at least glad I dodged a bullet here. I hate interviews, and if it didn't need to get a job to give me income to live, I wouldn't have even bothered. I think that's all of us with jobs. Dubai is where sad rich people go. Happy rich people go to places like Hawaii and surf. Where do sad poor people go? To work. Yup. My last job sent me my check exactly 6 months later, so it'd be void and I couldn't cash it. This is very, very illegal, and you can sue them for all the damages. You could, say basically, that they didn't send you this on time. But only if you're willing to be a Pepsi family. A Pepsi family, LMFAO. My father worked for you bottling company for 25 years. You fired him after denying to extend his leave when he was undergoing chemo. I guess to avoid paying out insurance. He died a few months later. Frick you, Pepsi, and your family. How does this not have any likes? Why is Pepsi getting 400 likes and this news isn't? My, if you like working for money, peace off! We've decided it's time to expand the Valley Nutrition in Apple Valley. We aren't looking for just anyone. You need to be self-motivated but coachable, ambitious and friendly, have a positive attitude and a true desire to help people. We are looking for someone to work with us, not for us. With that being said, a strong desire to own your own business or manage a space is desired. If you're just looking for a paycheck, this probably isn't the adventure for you. If you're still reading this and this sounds like a possible fit for you or someone you know, let us know. Serious inquiries on that. I'm pretty sure they are offering to pay you, but you're not just here to earn a paycheck. You're here to invest in the company is what I think they're saying. I could be wrong. I'm still in shock. Yes, hello, good morning. Did you create an order for this week or an inventory? I'm confused. Was my position eliminated or not? Yes, but did you inventory and prepped an order on Sunday? Was running where it was, if at all? Bless your heart. You don't fire someone and then still contact them to ask questions about the job because you don't know. 25 years in the kitchen, just thought you would been professional. In 25 years, I've never had anyone fire me, then expect me to still work. As a cure for worrying, hard work is better than whiskey. No, it's not. LMAO, this can't be illegal. To all the staff that worked this Saturday, October 29th, I know there are a bunch of Halloween parties going on this weekend. If you do not show up for your shift or call in, I will take you as you are quitting your job. This actually is illegal, I think. Let's normalize not confusing someone's free time with their availability. I worked at Subway in high school, and a customer demanded to speak to a manager because her $5 foot long was not exactly $5. I tried explaining to her that sales tax is normally, and $5.35 is the price of anything after tax that is $5. She continued to yell and cuss at me. Oh boy. She even specifically stated she does not have to pay a tax. It was at that moment I accepted that there was no being rational with some people. I simply wish to live and engage in meaningful projects without having to constantly find ways to commodify my mind, body, and time in order to sell them on the market for a pitiful fraction of what they are worth to be allowed to survive. Welcome to capitalism, my friend. Old people be like, Gen Z leaves jobs too easily, then get fired in an email after working somewhere for 37 years. Sorry, due to staffing shortages, the pumpkin decorating department, PDD, has been dispatched to another decorating unit. Just hire a pumpkin decorator. It's not hard. People in the 1920s. I lost my house, my job, and all my savings. I'm ruined. People in the 2020s. I never had any of those to start with. Workers lost $3.7 trillion in earnings during the pandemic. Women and Gen Z saw the biggest losses. World's billionaires get richer by $3.9 trillion during the pandemic. Great. Awesome. I freaking love the world. I need to know why you're not at work. No, you don't. I missed work today just because I felt like it, which is 100% acceptable. And my personal email was blown up by my supervisor and another team lead, both asking the same thing. Please respond back with why you weren't at work today and when you'll return. The protocol we have when missing work is to email workforce management, which I did at 6:30 a.m. CST. That's it. So please stop with the harassing emails. Stop trying to pry. Stop trying to find reasons I contact people not in the office when you truly have no reason to do such thing other than to be a snitch and a butthole. Sorry, I had a boss like this once. Reminded that the New York City pay transparency law goes into effect on November 1st. This means companies must share the salary for all job openings, including internal transfers and promotions. This is in the employee's handbook at my new job. All wage and salary information is personal and confidential. No, it's not. It's against the law to... Oh, God. I'd rather have a better compensation. There's a reason to celebrate. Thanks to you and P10, our business delivered sales over $500 million, and our NA business set an all-time high for earnings of $143 million. For the first time ever, that means donuts are on us Friday. This was accomplished by an email that was a slap in the face of all the employees that were told we were working Thanksgiving to hit a bottom line. Maybe you should pay your employees for their outstanding service instead. Yeah. Well, only in the US do you need tips to survive. So sad I can't get a sugar fix. No donuts, no baker. People nowadays, after income tax, get doubled, gas prices are record high, and inflation skyrockets. I lived through worse. People 2 centuries ago, when tax on tea got few percent higher as a way to repay for war support, I am the first raider, and bloodshed shall have no end. I know it's Arkansas, but I always read this as Arkansas for some reason. Arkansas waitress was fired for not sharing her $4,400 tip with coworkers. Owner wanted a cut also. She said pooling tips never happened in the 3 years she worked there. She's made nearly $10K on GoFundMe since being fired. God, am I happy that she got that. Not fired, the other thing. It's hilarious interns last day. He's autistic and a super straight shooter. My VP asked him in front of everyone on his way out, "You gonna miss this place and the people at all?" And he said, no, and then walked right out. I love this man. The smarter we make the AI, the less it wants to do our jobs. Come on, man, do our jobs. Recently posted at work. You're not paid to think. A mindless worker is a happy worker. Shut up and do your job. This, I hope, was a joke from Futurama, and the boss has a good sense of humor, but maybe the wrong way to do this. Don't have money to pay off your debt? Just make more money. A must-do option, earn more money. No matter what your student loan situation is, every borrower should focus on earning more money. Whoa. You're telling me if I make more money, I can pay off my Whoa, dude! A guy on our site died yesterday. I work in tech and was just told to grab his computer and save his files. Makes you think he worked his butt off for this place and didn't even get a weekend, just dead between weekdays. Do the things you want to do now before you can't. Oh, I've learned that very recently with the passing of my friend. I emailed you 3 days ago message this morning. Friday afternoon at 4:47, this person emailed me. They followed up at 8:15 this morning. 28 minutes later, they emailed me 28 working minutes ago. Bye. I'm done. More businesses need to be like this. To all new customers, I take pride in making a sandwich. My staff and I do not rush. This concept has been working for over 60 years at Dante's. If you have no patience, please leave. I don't want you yelling at my employees. I quit my teaching job and now make more bartending for 15 less hours a week. Also, I get blamed for way less and get told thank you way more. No lesson plans or grading papers. I just get people drunk and drink myself. If the salary is so competitive, why don't you tell me what it is? From all job seekers. Yeah, dude. Why don't you tell me what it is? Reminder that your kid should leave home at 18 is a psych-up by the central banks to make 10x family members pay 10 times rent/mortgage, 10 cents utilities, 10 car payments, and 10 of every item needed for home, plus entertainment and stress relief to cope with being alone. Really? Damn. Bachelor's degree. $9 an hour. Sold. People ask what you do for a living so they can calculate the level of respect to give you. I make YouTube videos about memes and Godzilla and boobs. Found this perfect Halloween costume. Micromanager comes with daily timesheet, taskless, hourly check-ins, after-hour texts, inflexible work policy. I once quit because my boss told me to come in on my day off when I was supposed to go to Vanilla Ice concert. Technically, I didn't quit. They fired me for a day, and then they realized they needed me and hired me back because I was one of the last food runners left there. Thank you, Racing North Turns in Daytona Beach, Florida. A much better mindset. Any experience? No, sir. I hope you will gain some here. You're hired. Thanks, dude. I needed a win in life. Do not charge any phones or electrical devices on this premise. It is a theft of electricity and will be deducted from your pay. All phones must be turned off. Yeah, okay, bud, sure. I like working. What upsets me so much about our current circumstances is that I generally like to work, just not for an unlivable wage in a place that takes away most of my time. Work gets me out of the house, around new people, and gives me a purpose, but that is quickly undercut by the notion that my purpose has become lining some CEO's pockets. That's not even mentioned that a lot of jobs tend to be dangerous, and I'm not going to cut my life short for somebody else's profit. I'm really frustrated, and I hope I'm not alone in this. No one's alone in this. It's just the super rich run the world, dude. Hashtag millennials are causing a baby bust. They aren't having enough kids to keep the U.S. population at the replacement level. That's because rent is $1,500 and jobs paying $12 an hour. Also, kids are gross. Home is our real life. You are totally replaceable at work. You're not replaceable at home. Home is your real life. Keep that perspective always. That's true. That's true. Boomers want to eliminate work for home so they can start having affairs again. Yeah, probably. Bus drivers in Japan went on strike but continue to drive their routes while refusing to take fares from passengers, so keeping Japan on time but costing the bus companies gas on top of lost revenue. God, I love Japan workers. They know how to fight the man. Teen Vogue's outing their education. Out there educating. Me can't read good. Me need education. For example, if you ask for a raise by yourself and your company doesn't want to give it to you, your boss might be completely within their rights to fire you. Seems bad, right? However, if you and even just one other coworker unite and go to the boss to ask for a raise together, legally the boss can't retaliate against you. That becomes protected, concentrated activity under the National Labor... Oh, shoot. Where was this when I was younger? My father-in-law's resignation email from 2002 on account of because. Dear blank, I have a problem with my eyes. I can't see you working there anymore. Cheers, mate. Something really messed up happened to me at work. What do you think about this? The big box store I work at has been doing really well meeting our sales goals lately, so management decided to throw a pizza party. Yeah, I know. When we get there, it was a generic pizza from Little Caesars, and there was 2 slice limit, and some dollar store soda that ran out almost instantly. I got my paycheck for the week, and they took wait, what? $8 for the party? I could have gotten a whole pizza for that money. WTF, dude. For Little Caesars, you could have gotten 2 pizzas. People no longer believe working hard will lead to a better life, survey shows. That's because it doesn't anymore, dude. All the rich people keep you down no matter how hard you work. Never really could, but this hits even harder these days. We can't afford to shop at any store that has a philosophy. Yeah, neither can I. This guy told his job he didn't want a birthday party because of his anxiety. They threw him one anyways. He had a panic attack. They fired him for his behavior. He sued and now they owe him $450K. Let's go. Great value, Beyonce. Who's the boss now, huh? What? You told Mark you could work night shift tonight. No, I did not. I told Mark I couldn't work Monday. You told him you couldn't work in the morning, but you could work normal hours. As you know, I found out yesterday my dad passed away. I'm gonna go ahead and at least take the day. I get a week off to mourn his death. I am so sorry for any inconvenience this will cause you. Michael died a few days ago. I lost my grandma. Stop being a victim. Mail me a check. I quit and go flip yourself. Frickin' Chris.
Damn. I'm kinda tired of living inside a giant pyramid scheme controlled by criminals who gaslight us into believing they are the good guys. It's wild that unskilled labor is the labor that society literally collapses without. From the New York Times, I agree this would have sounded unbelievable years ago. Are we actually arguing about whether 14-year-olds should work in meatpacking plants? Jesus Christ. The biggest price gouger ever could definitely pay more than $18. Today, thousands of Disney World workers voted to approve a new contract, delivering an $18 minimum wage this year and raises across the board, plus 8 weeks of paid family leave. And it will continue to cost us billions until corporations understand it. I have an escape door. Younger workers say they need more than a good salary to give their loyalty, flexibility, and service, and it's already costing the US economy billions. Good. Boss didn't hire new employee because of their hobbies outside of work. The title really says it all. We interviewed a candidate today for a position and my boss says she's not a good fit for the company since she likes to game outside of work. My boss states that he wants a well-rounded person and doesn't want someone who plays games when they go home for the day. I don't know, seems kinda messed up to me. What someone does with their free time has no business being discussed or judged in the workplace. Yeah, Everyone goes home after work and has something to unwind with. That's so stupid. Sorry, you need to work. I won't be showing up. I'm sick. I gave as much notice as I possibly could. Sorry, as I said there is no one to cover shift. That's not my problem. I will not be showing up. I'm sick and I gave notice when I could. No, Rachel, it's your job. You need to work. See you at 2. No, the won't. They're sick. Dumbass. I grow coffee. I refine coffee. I package coffee. I brew coffee. I literally collect money for doing nothing. Let's just scribble it out. Hiring today. Competitive wages and tips. Cool. Career growth opportunities. Cool. Fun work environment. Cool. Flexible schedules. Cool. Refer a friend bonuses. Awesome. A weekly direct deposit. Neat. Paid I didn't see paid vacation. This needs to happen everywhere. Normalize letting people eat their lunch alone if they want and decompressing for 30 minutes to an hour without the pressure of being considered antisocial in the workplace. A man has applied to the job advertisement welder $15 to $30 an hour. During the welding test, he made 2 test welds shown on the pictures. The potential boss asked what is going on. The man replies, the upper one is $15 an hour, the lower one is $30 an hour. Which one looks better to you? The retirement age is 67. Your life expectancy is 78. Work for 50 years to be free for 11? Does that sound like a fair deal? No. This is what 56 hours nets you at $8 an hour. Employer is exempt from overtime as a movie theater. Yeesh. That is, it's a decent amount of money, but could have been a lot more if he was getting paid overtime. That's so bullshit, man. Memo to the media. Please don't say inflation is at a 40-year high without also mentioning that corporate profits are at a 70-year high. Give the people the full picture. A coworker's last day was Friday. He didn't retire, just decided to take a month off and find another job after. I should record the morning meeting and send it to you so you don't feel left out. Please do. Well, we got tacos at least. My dad says raising the minimum wage is actually bad for his employees. Yeah, they'll look the part. Micromanaging boss wants to weaponize CCing HR, so I'm weaponizing state labor laws. Good morning. According to the blank State Department of Labor and Industries, I am required to submit a doctor's note for absences meeting or exceeding 3 consecutive days. However, according to Absence Tracker, only 2 of my absences were due to illness. As of March 30th was a pre-approved personal holiday. As such, I will not be providing a doctor's note for those days. Thank you for all that you do. Blank. Is the remote work really working? I'm not so sure. Where were you zooming from yesterday when you were on CNBC? I am wondering where he is as well. We will make a better world for our children. We will make a better world for our children. F*** you, entitled brats. My old company wants to sue me for not providing password information 4 years after they fired me. I was the manager of a network engineering team for a medium-large sized for 20 years and was terminated in 2019. We had various passwords for routers depending on line of business the routers belonged to. My team had the administrative passwords stored in a secure electronic password vault. Fast forward to last week when something got into the routers and locked everyone out. Now they need the admin passwords, but apparently the vault was taken offline and removed 2 years ago. Apparently half their business is at a standstill and they can't make payroll until this is fixed. They called me demanding the passwords, and when I couldn't produce them, they wanted to sue me. What a bunch of holes. First they fired me and want to sue me 4 years later. Laughable. Only in America. How does this stupid thing work? First you scan the barcode, but it doesn't scan. Huh, that's weird. Why do I have to do this? It's about convenience. How is this convenient? The store is conveniently saving money on staff. This is what happens when people can't afford to get married the traditional way. David's bridal laying off over 9,000 workers. Holy shit. Did this boomer era motivational speaker stuff ever actually work? Certainly doesn't seem to now. If you do more than you are paid to do, eventually you will get paid more for what you do. No, I don't want to eventually be paid for my work. I'd rather be paid when I'm doing the work. Such a change. Let's see, back in 2009, the minimum wage was $7.25, and a place to live would cost you about $690 a month. 2023, same minimum wage, but it's $1,100 a month. Cool. I'm going to be fired on Monday. I run a small bar in Michigan. I run said bar in everything except pay, lol. I have a general manager who works on average 10 hours per week. I have an owner who I've never seen do a single thing other than drink Busch Light by the gallon. The tips are even good enough that I don't complain about being paid $6 an hour. I now find out we are closed Monday and Tuesday for spring cleaning by the staff for $6 an hour for 10 hours for 2 days. Myself and the other night bartender have said absolutely not, and we have been told we will be terminated if we do not show. On the bright side, this has given me a week to job hunt, and boy, is there a lot of opportunities out there right now. I've already had 2 interviews and have another 2 tomorrow, one of them during the hours I am scheduled to work. Wouldn't you know it, I think I feel a cold coming on. How it feels to be alive lately. Existing. That'll be $70. Okay. Cassidy, read that again, but slowly. Hi Cindy, I see on your availability that you aren't available until 8:30. For this Friday, could you be here at 7:30? Well, no, because you just said that they're not available until 8:30. Why would they be there at 7:30? Millennials say it's inappropriate to have a work wife, but most Gen Zers and boomers are cool with it, Poll finds. A work wife? What is that? What? Millennials aged 25 to 34 years old largely disapprove of work marriages. Yeah, what is that? What is a work marriage? I've never heard of this until today. Of course no one wants to work. There's no reward for living in society anymore. Wow, you mean I can work 2 jobs where my bosses treat me like a machine and the customers treat me like a verbal punching bag so I can make rent in my overpriced suburban duplex and then never have free time ever again? Golly, Uncle Sam, I'm not sure I like your freedom very much. A huge study of 20 years of global wealth demolishes the myth of trickle down and shows the rich are taking most of the gains for themselves. What? Millennials didn't kill the economy killed millennials. The American system has thrown them into debt, depressed their wages, kept them from buying homes, and then blamed them for everything. Yeah? If you work 40 hours a week and can't afford a 2-bedroom apartment, what the fuck is the point of working? Companies like Amazon and Walmart, who pay their employees dirt cheap wages while taking in billions in profits, deserve to have employee shortages. McDonald's last week asked corporate employees, who usually work from the office, at least 3 days a week to do the job from home. The plan was to lay off hundreds of employees, and the company preferred to deliver that news virtually. Cool. Universal Basic Income. UBI critics. If we give people money without conditions, people will stop working. UBI pilot. Turns out the UBI group worked more than the control group. UBI critics. Well, of course giving people more money works, but it costs too much. UBI pilot. Turns out the money spent on UBI reduced other costs greater than the UBI. UBI critics. Yeah, but people will stop working. But Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes. We'll be 4 horsemen deep into the apocalypse and still going to work. Boss, why were you late? Me, a lake of fire swallowed the freeway. Boss, I feel like you're not considering how this affects the team. They told me hard work pays off, and here I am 2 years at this job making 50 cents over minimum, with no raise, no benefits, living paycheck to paycheck, working myself to the bone, literally, and going home tired and in pain every day. God, this makes me so angry and sad. French refuse collectors have now been on strike for 18 days after their government raised the pension age from 62 to 64. Whether you agree or not, they are going to let their government walk over them. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of garbage. Resigned my position at a job and got this email in response. Debt of labor said this was illegal. Now if they don't pay up soon, I'm owed double my wages. Know your rights. Per the terms outlined in the employee handbook, the following adjustments will be made from your final paycheck as you are within the probationary period and have been terminated. Paycheck will be issued at minimum wage, $10 per hour on your last paycheck. Paycheck withholdings, charge for background check, $60, charge for CCEI account, $15, charge for key fob if not returned, $10, charge for cell phone locker key if not returned, $50, total $135. Thanks. Employer sent communication that they would punish us if we had to take shelter from a tornado, even if only a few minutes. Okay, we work from home, normal office job. We have a severe weather warning in our area, Tornado Alley, yay, and we received communication today that if the sirens go off and we see a tornado or inclement weather and we need to take shelter for any reason, we will be punished. Even if it's only 10 minutes, any time away from our desk to seek shelter will be punished. Everyone is very upset, and because of this, work turned off allowing us to communicate with them about this issue. Is there anything that can be done? This feels illegal, and I did some research, but I really couldn't find much regarding this. I might be looking in the wrong places, though. Iowa, USA. Dude, I would say fuck them and just take shelter if you have to. How would they know, you know? Recruiter. At this job, you will get to work at a fast-paced environment. You will get to thrive under pressure, and you will be part of a dynamic team. Great, now that you've outlined the cons, what are the pros? Company owner decided to stop paying his drivers, so one of them parked their semi on the owner's Ferrari and just left it there. That's awesome. No one wants to work anymore because there is no reward. Half of us are living paycheck to paycheck, no saving for retirement, no saving for a house, straight up 2 paychecks away from living on the street. Due to rising temperatures, more workers are dying from heat than ever, so cities have mandated that construction workers get 10-minute water breaks every 4 hours. In response, Texas Republicans are now trying to pass a bill that bans mandatory water breaks. Shocker from Texas. Productivity paranoia needs to stop. A worker quitting a 6-figure job so she won't have to return to the office full-time says she's a victim of her boss's productivity paranoia. I don't need to be in an office to do my work. I'ma get fired, lol. Ladies and gents, this is starting as of today. I get it, we all forget every so often to clock in and out, but going forward, if you consistently forget, I will forget to pay you till the following payroll. To me, one of the most important things is clocking my time in and clocking my time out. I cannot make it any easier, just do it. I swear I'm not trying to be obtuse, but I'm in law school, so whatever. The withholding of wages for the reason of disciplinary action is illegal. There is no teacher shortage. There are thousands of qualified, experienced teachers who are no longer teaching. There's a shortage of respect and proper compensation for teachers, allowing them to actually teach. Why is it easier to believe that 150 million Americans are being lazy rather than 400 Americans are being greedy? Apparently, we also didn't need to wait for the housing market to crash. All we needed to do is work for it. Millennials are cheering for a housing market crash. Millennials are actually cheering for a housing market crash on Twitter so they can afford a home. It seems the very image of entitlement. No, I think people want to just be able to, I don't know, afford a place they can call their own without having to pay rent to landlords who are monsters. I might be looking too deep into it, though. Nobody wants to work anymore. Personally, I've never wanted to work. My old job closed down for good. This was one of the reviews. 1 out of 5 stars. Food is good, but the hygiene in this restaurant is really bad. Talked to some staff, and apparently owner treats staff very harshly. Response from the owner. Thank you for your feedback, but our restaurant is meet requirement hygiene certification given. When did you visit us? And from the camera, we haven't seen you talking to our staff, but you talk like you know our restaurant better than we do. You should get a job and do something else with your life than going around and commenting on people's business. We can file a case for you making a false statement. Thank you and have a good day, sir. Yeah, sounds very reputable and legitimate. When the rich rob the poor, it's called business. When the poor fight back, it's called violence. We are returning to the office because our culture is so important. The culture? Yeah. Soulless, lifeless boxes. Cool. I'm literally throwing up at work with a fever, pale as a ghost, and already passed out. Boss says I just don't want to work. As the title says, I'm sick. Have been all week. I'll get fired if I don't show up for my scheduled shifts, and my boss is actually going to try and force me to work more hours this week too, because I dared to take off a day for being sick as a dog. I have a fever, severe cough, and I already passed out once today. Not going great so far. Just threw up 2 almost in front of the patrons, and I can feel it coming back again. I told my boss I might need to leave so she can please find someone to cover for me. She just smacked her lips and gave me a sassy remark about how this generation won't work and always wants to leave and stay home, and apparently this is a habit for me now. Yikes. Big yikes. I like, these people are people too. They get sick. They understand. They get it. If they're sick, oh yeah, they can stay home all they want because they're the boss. They can do whatever. But if it's some younger person, then they're just faking it and they want to go home because they don't want to work. But no one wants to work. They just want to get paid more. We all like to get money, right? Would you look at that? Bernie Sanders to Howard Schultz. Have you ever threatened, coerced, or intimidated a worker for supporting a union? Schultz won't answer no. I've had conversations that could have been interpreted in a different way than I intended. So yes, that's a yes then, right? We're all in agreement that's a yes. Protect our kids, like making sure they aren't hungry. Okay, let's have free school lunches then. Legalize child labor. What the is going on? Managers didn't post schedule until 40 minutes before our scheduled shifts. Is the schedule going to be posted soon? I'm sorry, but I can't come in today. The schedule was posted just now, and I've already got my day going. Guys, I understand the schedule was just posted, but it's the same schedule for most of you who work Sundays. Please make sure to check and make it into work. Thank you. I want to hear your thoughts on this, in South Carolina if it matters. Buc-ee's, paid weekly, cashier, gift maintenance, warehouse, and grocery stocker, $18. Food service and car wash, $21. Team lead, $20 to $23. Department manager, $25 to $33. Full-time, 35 to 50 hours. No experience necessary. Assistant general manager, $100K. Car wash manager, $125K. Food service manager, $125 to $175K. General manager, $150 to $225K. 401K, 100% match up to 6%. 3 weeks paid time off. Use it, cash it, roll it. First year. Healthcare, part-time available, plus $2 hour for overnight. What do you think of this? Good? Bad? Maybe both? Amazon's CEO made $202.7 million in compensation in 2021, while the typical worker received $32,855. That's a ratio of 6,474 to 1. Now we learn that the company spent $14 million on anti-union consultants. Don't tell me that Amazon can't afford to let workers join a union. I've been reading a lot about how desperate employers are to get employees back in the office and how cities are desperate for return to office because otherwise downtowns will die, and the problem is I have yet to read an explanation of why that is the workers' problem to fix. So we're just forcing feel-good stories now. 2 women at a Texas Denny's realized it was short-staffed, so they jumped in and started cooking. We just looked at each other and it wasn't even a question, we both knew what we had to do. Yeah, I wouldn't have started cooking for them for free. Hell no. I work for a company in California that does a lot of outreach in Spanish. Recently, bilingual employees pointed out that this results in them doing more work than their monolingual coworkers, and they requested additional bilingual pay. This was the reply all response to HR's email denying that request. Hello, blank. Will this mean we will be outsourcing for any projects that need to be completed in Spanish? Best. Managers didn't communicate my day off for Easter, now I suffer for it. Why did you not coming to work? I told Shalia last week I couldn't work Sunday. I'm with my family for Easter. I'm sorry you didn't request off, so you will be documented. I 100% requested off. I told Shalia, and submitted it in the next app after telling her. I'm sorry, telling her you can't work isn't requesting off. There is a scan code in the crew room. You scan and fill out and send it to me on a request off sheet, and you are not on there, so no, you didn't request off. I did the schedules this week and not Shalia, so you now have 2 write-up for not coming to work. During training, they told me to use the next app for requesting days off, but alright. Hot take, we should raise the minimum wage to $17.76 an hour, then rename it Patriot Pay. Force them to say they are against Patriot Pay. Wow, don't need a job that bad. Unreal. Governor of Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, is now requiring applicants for positions in the state to write 500-word essays that detail what they admire from her leadership. This is not North Korea. This is not parody. Which word would you use to describe Sanders? Employer, you'll need to give us 1 month notice when you leave. Me, nah, you'll notice when I'm not there. Pretty remarkable that America temporarily constructed a safety net during COVID, including major health care coverage, food benefits, anti-poverty funding for families and kids, etc., and then they just systematically and slowly demolished it. $15 an hour is poverty, and I think we need to say that loudly because right now companies use it as a badge of honor. My boss sent me home early and clocked me out early, so I had to bust out the union contract that states I am to be paid for a full day regardless. Thank you for that, but on Friday 3/17, I only have 3 hours recorded. I understand you sent me home that day, but per section 22.6 of our contract, employees are to be paid for a full day if they are sent home. 22.6, any employee hired and not put to work shall be paid not less than a day or night's paid for the shift he was hired. Employees laid off after starting a day or night's work shall be paid not less than a day or night's pay. If an employee is employed after the regular starting time and is not ordered to work the following day, he shall be paid a full day's pay for the part day he worked. In an emergency beyond the control of the employees shall be paid for the number of hours worked on that particular shift.
Mother-in-law made a comment last night about, I know, when I started working I made $7 an hour. Y'all, I looked it up, and that's the equivalent of $19 an hour today. Boomers think they know. They don't friggin' know. Never told the boss off like this, and it felt amazing. Hey Brandon, we're short-staffed for the rest of this year because Sarah just quit without any warning. We're really backed up, so I'm going to need you to come in during Thanksgiving this year. Don't be shocked if you have to come in during Christmas Eve and day 2. I already told you 3 weeks ago I need that week off and you agreed. Now you're changing your mind? I will not be working Thanksgiving, and if you ask me again, I will not be working for you at all anymore. We've had to set expectations with you multiple times this year. Coming in is the least you can do. Your PTO request has been denied. I'm not asking you to come in, I'm telling you that you have to. And I'm telling you that you'll have no worker at all now. I quit. Absolutely so based of you. Hell yeah. Seems as good a time as any to remind people that loggers, roofers, construction workers, sanitation workers, truckers, miners, agricultural workers, etc. all have statistically more dangerous jobs than cops. And if they refuse to do those jobs, they get fired, not more money. Just putting that out in the world. This frickin' motivational quote when I walked in this morning. The reward for work well done is the opportunity to do more. No, the reward for work well done is a frickin' paycheck. I worked for a billing office and built programs to make it easier to keep track of clients, payments, and records. I was fired and told to finish out 2 weeks. In that time, I removed every program I'd created and put them back on their outdated original program. Hell yeah! Got a new manager at work and he said he doesn't believe in working from home and wants the office back in 5 days a week from Monday. I've never seen so many registration letters in my life. Good. People who have to pester at not working from home and working in an office when your productivity stays the same doesn't make any sense. That would be like if my bosses made me fly to Australia every week to go do my voice work for the week. Doesn't make any sense. Stupid. Controversial thesis. If the highest paid person in your university or college is the basketball coach or the football coach, then it is not a university, it is a sporting franchise with a side hustle and tertiary education. I don't get the argument that employers can't afford to pay $15 an hour. That's the value of labor. If I can't afford a Porsche, then I can't get a Porsche. I don't get to demand a discount on Porsches. If a business can't afford labor, that's on the business, not the labor market. The average rent in the US hit a new record high of $18.27 last month. On the federal minimum wage of $7.25, people take home $12.56 a month. People aren't exaggerating when they're saying it's becoming unlivable here. It's not becoming unlivable, it is unlivable. Okay, fine, we'll take the babysitter rate. $10 a kid times 6 hours a day equals 65 times 28 kids a class equals 1820 times 180 school days equals $327,600. Sounds great. I think we should pay teachers this much, honestly. Today I learned some office employees make a point of taking laptops home every night to give the appearance of productivity, whether they intend to work at home or not. Office culture is exhausting. I started a new office job this week. I noticed everyone took their laptops home at the end of every day and brought them back every morning. I worked my full 8 hours plus salary and felt good about what I accomplished, so I left my laptop there. I told this to my family, and my husband informed me that it is common for people to make a show of bringing home work to show how dedicated they are, even if they don't do any work overnight. I am so over office BS culture. Why are we pretending to work overtime? Just to prove to the boss that we're good little worker bees. I don't belong in an office. I just can't think that way. Going remote soon, hopefully. Don't union, but if they're there, be collaborative. Promotes a union-free atmosphere and, where appropriate, establishes collaborative relations with unions. Union-free atmosphere. You lost me. Can you sue for wrongful termination even if they offer you the job back and you turn it down? A buddy from work recently got fired for seemingly no reason, and the rumors floating around wouldn't be grounds for immediate termination. If he were to sue for wrongful termination and they offered his job back and he told them to go screw, would suing be off the table since now he has an opportunity to return to work and it isn't by his own choice? Guys, I'm sorry, but these are giving me a freaking headache with how awful these corporations and employers are. I feel so bad for these guys. For the employees, not the employers. The employers can go frick themselves. Just your regular reminder that $15 an hour debate has been going on for so long that the actual living wage is now around $24 an hour. Nobody is your friend. Just mind your business. Learn all you can. Do your job. Get your paycheck. Go home. Absolutely. Absolutely. You do not need to go above and beyond for these motherfuckers. Missionaries thought Hawaiians were lazy because by noon, Hawaiians were surfing, doing art, and socializing. What they didn't see was that Hawaiians started the day at dawn and were so efficient and organized that they were done planting, harvesting, and cooking for the entire day by 9 a.m. Reminder, if a team runs itself for 6 months while you hire a manager, you shouldn't be hiring, you should be promoting. Things you overhear as an overworked first-year teacher. I'm a 23-year-old first-year teacher at a charter school. I teach mostly 9th and 10th graders, and I'm slowly making my way through my first semester. This weekend was finally our fall break. As such, I've decided to post the highlights from my first 8 weeks of teaching. For reference, the kids call me Mrs. M, even though I am definitely not married. Enjoy. Mrs. M, what do you want to be when you grow up? A boy pulls a female classmate aside after class. Can I ask you something? He waits for the room to empty. Have you ever heard of neodymium crystals? What the hell is that? Leaving class one Friday. Damn, Mrs. M has a legit donk. But if they are small islands, why don't they just float away? Watching a video about Julius Caesar's assassination. Wait, is this actual footage? I'm gonna die working. In this prison without bars, wasting my best years sitting in front of the computer, losing hours of sunshine, of life with the people I love just to do an abusive journey. In my country, every year, they change the rules and retirement seems more and more distant. Unless you're military or politician, always afraid to lose jobs and be so poor. I always remember the speech from the Charles Chaplin movie, The Dictator. I would love to have born truly free. I'm so tired and hopeless. McDonald's and Visa partnered to show how fast food restaurant workers can live on $8.25 an hour if they budget. Unfortunately, that budget includes working a second job and not having heat. Yeah, $0 on heating. That's so awesome. This is proof that rich people are so incredibly out of touch with reality. It's so true. They are. They have no idea what's going on down here. What aren't people talking enough about? How 70 and 80-year-olds are generally regarded as unemployable due to mental decline and skill mismatch, yet they're exclusively running the country. This is very interesting. Yeah, it is. It is very interesting. We should have term limits. I'm just saying. On everything. Everything. I think part of the problem with raising the minimum wage is half of our politicians were born in the 1940s and still think rent is $71 a month. Oh boy, what I wouldn't do for rent to be $71 a month. I only come into the office with a laptop. I used to bring a backpack, but then people can tell when you're coming into work and when you're leaving. Now I just walk in with my laptop and maybe a water bottle too. That way people think I'm just coming out of a meeting, even if I come into the office at 11 a.m. Sometimes I leave home early too, around 2 p.m., walking out with my laptop. People think I must be walking somewhere. Truth is, I'm walking to the parking lot to leave. Hey, that's base to you, man. Hell yeah. A humorous sign for the office from Wayfair. Company policies. Sick days. We no longer accept a doctor's note as proof of sickness. If you are able to go to the doctor, you are able to come to work. Personal days. Each employee will receive 104 personal days a year. They are called Saturday and Sunday. All employees will take their vacation at the same time every year. Vacation days are as follows: January 1st, Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day, December 25th. I'm not expecting any more from Wayfair. They're horrible. This is horrible. Oh my god. Crew are not allowed to discuss their rate of pay. If you see this stuff, def talk about your pay because your employer is def hiding some shady stuff and you all need to stick together for it. Your boss is never going to pay you enough to live next door to him. Let that sink in. Between a friend and his manager at a small packing plant. I need you tomorrow. Saturdays are my days off. I'll be with my fiance. I'm short and I need you to come in. Okay, how much am I getting? Huh? You're short-staffed and you need work tomorrow. We call that expedited. For $39.75, I can be there tomorrow. For $13, I'll see you on Monday. This is the energy that I like. We need to do this more often. Ordered pizza for my kids, and my daughter's math teacher is the person who delivered the pizza. This lady has a master's degree, makes less money than my dumbass, and has to deliver pizza to make ends meet. This ain't the American dream they keep trying to sell us. Have applied for over 2,500 jobs since June. Reached the interview stage with about 45 to 50, and I think in the past few months, none of them panned out because UK companies don't want to sponsor visas. International education in most cases is a massive scam. Universities charge 3 times the fees from us, and then companies that do not want to hire us and we need to get back home. And that does not equate to the racism one faces. Everyone wants people to work for free. Hi, I'm running a business that shows restaurant owners how to retain their staff better and keep them happy in their jobs. What are the most important things restaurants can do or not do in order to keep their staff happy? Hi, I'd be more than willing to help you out, but I don't work for free. I thought you wanted to make the restaurant industry better. Or do you just want to complain about your problems? You are running a business. Why would I do consulting for free? And then this person lost their business, hopefully. Old rules don't work. Kellogg's has announced it's firing strikers who refuse, designed by striking breaking consultants, offer structure to turn workers against each other, taking applications online. Millennials and Gen Z applied en masse with no intent of taking jobs, crashed the system. Yeah! You'll love to see it. Shout out to our parents for hitting an absolute timeline sweet spot. Drop in right after a world war, have a bunch of weird sex before HIV, buy a house for like $20,000, start a family, retire young, and peace out right before the ocean kills us. Man, I would, but I wouldn't give to buy a house for $20,000. A competing company is offering us 20% more to work for them. Manager's response: we seriously appreciate you. Milk is in the refrigerator. Oh my god, that's pathetic. Yeah. 20% increase in income, or a box of Rice Krispies. Oh, I'm getting brain damage. I haven't had a full-time job in 7 years. I guess that's in part because I haven't been able to answer wanky questions like these without feeling awkward in interviews. Any advice on what to say or not to say? Give an example of a time you delivered on your commitment even when it was really tough to do so. Lie. Give an example of a time you have gone beyond expectations to deliver a better outcome for someone. Lie. Can you share a favorite experience of working with a team and your contribution to it? Lie about it. What is a valuable lesson you learned from a prior work colleague or team member? Please describe how you have applied that lesson in your own life. Lie about it. Describe a situation in which you recognize a potential problem as an opportunity. What did you do? What was the result? You lie about it. This worked for me. Back before I do what I do now, I got a managerial position at Target, and with these answers, I lied on all of them. And I got the job. I just made up some stuff. They don't look into it. They just want to hear an answer they want to hear. It's some crap, man, I tell ya. Big Mac in the US, $5.66. Big Mac in Denmark, $4.90. A McDonald's worker in Denmark makes $22 an hour, gets 6 weeks of annual vacation, gets a union, gets a year of paid family leave, gets life insurance, and a pension. In America, the same worker gets $9 an hour with no benefits. My daughter was just offered a teaching position, $16.25 an hour. She has 2 masters in education. That's $32,800 annual. No wonder they can't find good teachers. She was making $55K as a bartender. Our priorities are messed up. It do be like that. The Flash for some reason. Inflation. No. Wage increases. It's a snail. It's so right. Oh yeah, I'll definitely go in on my day off just to take a picture. Friday, November 4th, we are taking a new store picture at 1:30 p.m. Meet at the service desk. We will be wearing our blue polo shirts. Everybody is asked to join. Let's be proud of where we work and what we do. Even if it's your day off, come in to be in the picture. No. I will not do that. Pooping in a bucket. Just trying to get others' input on how crazy this is. As of yesterday, our toilets, men's room, -2 toilets and 2 urinals, women's, -1 toilet, are useless. Apparently our pipes rotted away and they are full of dirt and soil. We are a fairly small company with 20 to 30 employees. Me and 2 other coworkers are just shocked at how no one else at the company seems to think this is a big deal. It's a law to provide working restrooms, or am I crazy? The water isn't usable to wash your hands even. The closest restroom is a 5-minute drive from our place of work. If someone has legit diarrhea, they are more likely they will shit their pants before reaching a toilet. All the Starbucks employees at the Austin airport just walked out. Good. Good. Don't tell me how rude our generation is, because I've worked in customer service for over 3 years, and I've never had someone close to my age yell and freak out on me like the older generation does. I got a 25-cent raise this year, which absolutely is not keeping pace with inflation, and then I get to walk into work and see the owner's new toy. Oh my god! Please pay your employees properly before you buy a new whip. Come on, man. Business. Pepsi has sued 4 Indian farmers, $150,000 each, for growing the type of potato used in the chips of its Lay's brand. What stage of capitalism is it when massive corporations can sue poor people for growing food? Mouse jigglers are lifesavers. Calling all remote workers. I just came across, so it's new to me, something called a mouse jiggler. I don't want to break any rules, but I haven't seen previous posts about it, so I thought I'd share. Just search mouse jiggler on Amazon. Not sure if posting a link would cause me to break any rules. My work laptop goes to sleep and logs me out after 5 minutes, and it's preset. I just find it really annoying, especially since I'm at home and don't have to worry about privacy concerns. Obviously, don't use it in public or at the office, but I finally have freedom to use the bathroom and not be logged out when I get back to work. Or God forbid, I grab a snack. Hope this helps. Please note the timestamps. I'm at my desk. You are late. Thank you. What? I'm late? Yes, your day starts at 8:30. Yes, I messaged you 5 minutes ago. Nope, you messaged me at 8:34 a.m. Just sent you a picture of my message where it says 6 minutes ago. I'm not gonna argue. I have 8:34 a.m. Oh my god. God. My blood's boiling. It's boiling so bad. So I'm just thinking out loud here, but like, What happens when the majority of the population stops being able to afford the cost of living? The fact that almost no jobs are advertised as low stress is concerning. I've been looking for work the last couple months, and I just find it concerning none of the jobs try to entice people with the words low stress. In fact, most listings do the opposite and classify the job as a fast-paced environment to make it sound even more stressful. Does anyone else feel like this is just weird? I get trying to not attract slackers, but that doesn't mean people who are looking for positions with minimal stress aren't hardworking. Feels like it should be a bigger story that a Hyundai plant in Alabama got busted this week for hiring dozens of kids as young as 12 years old to manufacture parts in a metal shop with numerous health and safety citations, including for maimed limbs. Someone stole $950 worth of items from a Walgreens. There were 309 news stories about it. Walgreens was caught stealing $4.5 million from employees, and it got one single story. Unfortunately, everyone either quit or didn't show up. I'm also gonna quit. Have a great day, though. Hey, I hope you have a great day too. There is no teacher shortage. There are thousands of qualified experienced teachers who are no longer teaching. There's a shortage of respect and proper compensation for teachers, allowing them to actually teach. Management's letter on salary increment. It's the end of October. I'm a performing employee. Guess who didn't receive a raise? There are still many challenges ahead of us, hence management no choice to postpone the annual salary increment until October of this year. I urge every one of you to give your contribution 100% to achieve your goal this year. I can assure you that the company will reward you for your effort contributed. Thank you. Absolutely wild how the most important story in the country right now is an impending strike of 125,000 railroad workers that will devastate supply chains, and no one is covering it because it'd be virtually impossible to avoid that the unions are completely in the right here. I'm a skilled tradesman who is supposed to get a $3,000 bonus at the end of the year for making the company $150,000 in profit. Per my contract, I doubled it, which is supposed to increase my bonus. This is what I received. 100% done with this industry. You got a pair of socks instead of at least $3,000? That better be a good spanking pair of socks. Millennials watching the Gen Z working class quit via text without notice. Attention, we do not get our tips. Our boss takes all of our tips. For more info, please talk to the cashier. I'm concerned. Just found out a coworker worked a 99-hour week last week and is on the schedule to work over 100 this week. He works in a different department. They're extremely short-staffed. How is this legal? This is just insane to me. Kansas, by the way. After a post about employee policy went viral here, my BF lost his job. Not sure if this violates the no repost rule, but as an update, following the post going viral, he was fired without cause. Apparently, this is legal in our state. And the employment laws here in Florida do not support workers' rights. We're both pretty shocked. Working your whole life just to enjoy a few years when you're close to death is one of the biggest scams. I don't have kids and probably never will. I support universal childcare and paid maternal leave. I'm never going back to college. I support free college. I don't make minimum wage, but I support increasing it above the cost of living. This is called wanting a better life for people. Dude died, but they made him go to work anyway. I'd show up every day like SpongeBob. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Would you flip burgers for a salary of $350K per year? You would? Damn. Sounds like people are okay with working. It's the money that's the problem. Several no's, followed by one yes. Rejection is part of the process, not the end of your story. Keep going. Nobody will hire me, or even tell me why they won't. I keep applying to jobs as a security guard. I've gotten over 8 years of history as a guard, and nothing else. Every job I've applied to for a year now has turned me down on the rare occasion they didn't just ghost me. Then they repost the same job openings shortly after. I've applied to every security job in the city, and none of them will hire me or even tell me why they won't. I've spoken with security guards in person, and they all say they're horribly understaffed, so to the point of working 30 consecutive days of 12-hour shifts. I think they're deliberately understaffing, and the job openings are all just for show, because I can't think of any reason why nobody will hire me. Except that I haven't had relevant work experience for the past year, but this started long before that was ever an issue. You're a nasty little man, and I'm not working for you anymore. He just stood there staring open-mouthed as I got the lads to help me load my toolboxes into my car. There isn't a shortage of skilled workers. There's a shortage of people willing to put up with pay, bosses, everything. I spent 20 plus years as a mechanic and now mow lawns and occasionally pick fruit. Yeah, guy. Sometimes the people that complain of lack of workers are the same ones who make us leave. That's what I have to say about that. Twitter universe. My friend did a drug test for a part-time job for the local school district. When she got her results, she found out that the district also did a pregnancy test. Besides ethical issues, this seems like a legal red flag, given she wasn't told this would be done. Yeah, I would be pretty pissed. That seems like a very, very big invasion of privacy.